chapter is chapter 17, and it's titled Racial Identity and Peer Pressure Among Gifted African American Students. One thing that really stuck out to me in chapter 17 was them touching on exposure to mentors and role models. And I think this is a very, very important step to like shaping who you are. Personally, my mom is a lawyer, and I have no idea what my dad does, to be honest. Like, I know his job title, but it doesn't. Mm, he makes money regardless. And he went to school. He got his bachelor's at Howard in no, what was it? It might be chemistry. No, I think it's in math. But basically, without them as role models, I don't know if I would be here today. I I can't speak on it because they're the reason that I'm being like pushed forward to do more and more as I go along. Neither of them have a PhD, but I know I want to get that. My mom has her master's, but basically, they were big role models to me in education. Another chapter in the book was multicultural education, and I can't speak on other people's schools, but I know for my high school, I feel like everything was just white. We touched on even in world history, touched on a lot of European countries, a few Asian countries. But basically, when we went to Africa, I only remember learning about colonizers and slavery. Barely slavery, mostly colonizers when I really think about it. I don't remember really being taught anything about slavery. This education just needs to be more diverse. It shouldn't even be black and white. We should learn about all the cultures from history and stuff like that and present day current events. Someone was saying in class that they had a black history class where it didn't really focus on slavery. It focused on different inventors and creators in the black community. And I think that that should be a class taught everywhere. Because when I really think about it, I can't think of many things that we have created. We we know like common historians like MLK, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, but other than civil rights, I really can't think of anyone. Also in chapter 17 they touched on assimilation and miseducation, and assimilation was basically just trying to fit into the two other white counterparts, and miseducation was more so quoted in the book. It said that that's the way that they act, but I'm different when talking about like black people. And really big example for this to me is OJ. I watch all, not all, but I've watched American Crime Story for OJ, and I've watched his documentary on FX. And basically, OJ really separated himself from the black community when things were going well. He didn't even want to be considered black, and that's extremely ridiculous because at the end of it, whenever he got into the trouble that he was in, no one looked at him as anything other than like a black man, besides black people in our community. But I just find a really big example of that to be OJ. Personally, I identify with the internalized multicultural personality identification, I guess, because one, I identify as black, American, Jamaican, and then those are basically it. Oh, a woman, sorry. Um, but I think that that's really big to me because don't I don't hate everything about white people. I love being black. I think that for the most part, I'm pretty well developed. I don't think that I've struggled with being black, or actually I take that back. I haven't struggled with it, but I really really hate when people use the term acting white, and not so much here, but people love to say that about me, and I don't know, it really confuses me. But that's the only thing that I struggle with, but I of course don't look at myself as white. Also want to talk on teacher referrals a little bit. So personally, I used to have IEP in high school and middle school. So no one ever really referred me for classes unless they were co-taught. But when it came to high school and me trying to make my transcript look better for college and stuff like that, my dad promoted me to try for honors classes and AP classes. So none of my teachers ever referred me for that. It was always my parents pushing me towards going to that. So I would kind of agree with the teacher referral issues cuz I've never experienced that and I'm not too sure about my friends. But also it talked about student and family choice, saying that parents might encourage you not to go to like AP classes and stuff like that. And on that, everybody's situation is different. My parents are college educated, so they might have different views from somebody that's not college educated. That could be a leading factor. So, family choices has a lot to do with circumstance.